Hello, my crafty crafters! How are we all doing today? As you can see, we're not in hardcore anymore. This was me and my creative world, which is posted before this, so that's fine. However, I have died, and I am so sorry to tell all of you. The magical Mushroom Island is never going to take place. I'm not sure if I ever mentioned that, but it was going to become a magical Mushroom Island, but it never happened. I died in the worst way possible. But for most of the video and editing process, I didn't know. I didn't have access to my setup because I'd moved and edited the video whilst I was at a friend's house for my birthday. So, and then after editing the video, I came back and played more Minecraft and died. So most of the video I don't mention it because I have no idea. But anyways, I hope you enjoy the last ever hardcore video of mine for a while. We will be doing a survival series and a creative series, and I hope you enjoyed the first creative episode that was posted. It should have been either Sunday or Monday. I'm still deciding, but I'm about to go and get work on editing that, and I hope you all enjoy and have a lovely time watching.
Anyways, getting right into it, I began working on the farm, well, continuing to work on the farm. I did this for quite a while, to be fair, as I did still feel really disheartened about not being able to get the villagers in last episode, and trying to sort the water out with this farm was just horrendous. And for anyone wondering, I did have a fantastic birthday. I am currently editing this the day after with a horrible hangover, but it was fantastic. I had all of my friends and all the alcohol I could ever need or want, and it was a wonderful day spent with friends and family. But yeah, let's get to building this farm. It drove me mad. So anyways, after I finished the farm, I then decided that I was going to go and find the villagers. As you saw during that small little snippet of sped up footage, I did come across a wandering trader. Is that what they're called? Yeah, I want to call it a wandering llama then, I'm not sure why. So I finally had enough leads to go out and do it and feel comfortable and safe to do it with the amount of leads I had. Now, I've just had a genius idea whilst editing this to actually just put the sheep on a lead, not in a boat. Don't know why I did that for. But yeah, ran across the island and showed up at the village. And there was a villager hiding in a little hidey hole. And then there was a spare one hiding in an even deeper hidey hole. And I was like, what are you even doing? And let me tell you, the journey to get this villager back was horrendous. First of all, I had to dig him out of this tiny little hole, which was just so annoying. Because why are you even in a hole? Luckily, the hole had water near it, so I could happily climb out. We then swam across, I picked up a dog, and we went to the plains to look for some sheep. It's easier to run around with a villager in a boat in a plains biome than it is a forest. Tried to get sheep, realised the wolf kept attacking it, wanted to keep my sheep alive, so I decided that I was gonna banish the dog to a hole in the ground. Not the best thing, but I didn't really want to kill a child, that's probably not a good idea. So I tried to aim it so that only the dog would fall in and not the villager, and I did get it, huzzah! But my boat dropped into the hole, so I had to jump down and hopefully don't take the sheep with me. I then very quickly tried to jump back up and almost let the dog loose, and that wouldn't have gone well, and then I had to chase this villager around, and it was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, and I slept because otherwise he's gonna die. I then found another sheep and got it in the boat. I accidentally did leave the villager over there though, but it's fine. We went and got him back. But once I'd got him back, we started on the long and treacherous journey back home. is when it all fell apart. I logged out of the game because it was glitchy. I logged back in and they just weren't there. As you can see by that, the game was still heavily glitching out on me and they weren't there in the boats. I have no idea where they've gone. They've just sort of ceased to exist. So after all of that hard work, they just vanished into the abyss. So I broke the boats and I carried on home because I honestly didn't know what else to do at this point, because I'm pretty sure this was my third attempt and it just went to absolute shit because it was horrible, and I think Minecraft just doesn't like me at this point. And then, on top of deleting my animals and villagers, they gave me mining fatigue. I didn't know there was an ocean monument there. And that's how I found out. And now I have mining fatigue. And I'm sad again because I can't get the goddamn villagers or the goddamn sheep back home. This was really starting to get to me at this point. Once I'd gotten back, I emptied my inventory out into the chests and decided we was going to go back to farming. I'm in between farming and getting villagers. I went to say hi to Fred as well and just explained to him that I am so sorry, but I lost your friend. Have some carrots. I feel so bad. I could not find you a friend or a mate or a partner, whatever you want to call it. And I felt really guilty, so I did give him some carrots in the end. And then back to working on the farm. Once I'd done that, I climbed up I made a little tower up actually, sorry. And I sort of just stood there and admired my work for a little bit and decided that it would probably look better with a few plants inside of it. So I decided to dig my way down from my shitty little tower and go and plant all of the things that it needs. Although I didn't really have a lot of seeds, so I went down to the chest room to check first, but I don't think I found any, or if I did, I found maybe one or two, and it just wasn't enough to sustain a proper wheat farm. So I decided that the main things this farm was probably going to have was potatoes and carrots, because that's just purely what I had on me at the time. Anyways, enjoy me planting all the silly little plants. And I did check every single chest because the chest monster, you just never know. Once I had officially planted everything, I climbed up on top of the mushroom to get another look at this, and it looked gorgeous. I was so happy and so proud with how this came out. I'm honestly shocked it came out so well. I really, really do love this farm so much. And then I began working on the other farms that included pumpkins, berries, and sugarcane, because we need all of those things. Because who doesn't need all of those things? But I started off by doing a little bit of terraforming, so enjoy this little fast forwarded bit of me just doing the boring basic planting things. Once that was finished, I then headed down into the storage room and decided, you know what, this storage room needs a little bit of a revamp, because I dashed all the stuff in a chest again. Yeah, it wasn't good and it felt too big for the amount of storage I need at the minute, so I just redid it so it was much smaller and much more capable to manage.
I got shoes on the golden ground. Sway in the autumn leaves. You are beautiful when you look at me. Can you feel my love? Oh, can you feel my love?
Once I'd finished organising the chest room, I decided that I should probably go and collect a little bit more wood, as I don't really want to be running low on this, and I am using just pure logs for the farm, so it made more sense to go and grab some more wood. Once that was finished with, I decided to head over to the mob farm, but it didn't end as well as I thought it would. I was still alive by the end of it, but it was a very chaotic experience. Pre-warning anyone who has a mob farm, don't mess around with it. If it works, it works. Leave it alone to do its thing. I promise you now, it's not gonna stop working randomly like I kept thinking it would. Just leave it or this will happen. And I honestly did just stand here for a while waiting, and that is what made me think it was broke. Anyways, here's me standing at a mob farm for God knows how long. So I stood there for a little bit and I decided to sneak in and see what was going on, try and move it up a bit. And then I got yeeted off of the platform, and I'm so grateful that I made the platform above the ocean, because otherwise I would have been so dead. I decided after that I was heading back to the island though, because I was not dealing with any more mobs. The whole point of living on a mushroom island is to not deal with mobs. Why am I dealing with mobs for if I don't have to? If I wanted to, I would. If I wanted to, I would, because I just did. But it didn't end well, so we're going to leave it at that for now. Once I'd gotten back and collected myself and gathered my thoughts, I did head back, because the farm did need fixing, because I broke it. You know the saying, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, we really need to be listening to those comment things. Also, can I just say, the view of climbing up the water is just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. You get to watch the island slowly disappear below you. I did think I was almost at the top here, and I really wasn't. This tower is so high up in the sky, it is ridiculously tall. But anyways, I went back up and fixed it all up, and it was all okay, I think. I believe. Oh no, there's items on the floor. Where are the hoppers? Oh, okay, I've got the hoppers. I thought I'd lost the hoppers there for a second. Oh my god, I scared myself. I immediately blocked it off, because I learnt my lesson last time, and decided that it'd probably be smarter to move it up a block, because every time the mobs were landing, they were just instantly splat dying. So I thought, I'm going to move it up a few blocks so they don't instantaneously go splat and die, because that's not what we want from a mob farm. I want to be able to kill you so I can get points from you. Obviously, what else would I need you for? I sound really toxic saying that. I'd be an amazing toxic partner. Oh, look at me go. I don't want to be a toxic partner. I love my partner very much and he loves me very much. Thank you very much. How many times did I just say much? That was ridiculous. But yeah, and now I'm swimming back to the island, I think to grab more blocks, because knowing me, I probably didn't have enough blocks. Oh, and would you look at that? It happened again. I clearly didn't learn my lesson. What is wrong with me? Why am I like this? I'm sure there's a song called Why Am I Like This? I think that's from Heartstopper, to be fair. I don't know, have you ever watched Heartstopper? Because I personally found it quite a fun show. Anyways, we're on Minecraft, we're not talking about TV shows, although I could talk about TV shows for days on end. And there's another scary green guy. We don't like the scary green guys. They're very, very scary. He just destroyed my mob farm that I spent way too long building. I'm not sure why it took me so long to build this stupid mob farm, but then I finally peacefully sat here for a bit. I'm not sure if I destroyed it again, but I believe I probably did, knowing me. Once I'd stood at the mob farm for about 2 Minecraft days, I decided to finally come back and start planting, as one of the zombies had dropped a carrot. So I made a bunch of bone meal from the bones I'd collected, which was the whole reason I went to the farm in the first place. And then I began the annoying process of farming. I do love farming, but sometimes it's very difficult because you don't get like 2 seeds off of a piece of wheat, you only get 1.
which means that you can't replant it. So not only do you get none, and that means you definitely can't replant it. Well, then you replant it, but there's nothing to plant another one with. So now you're just stuck with a piece of wheat growing again for God knows how long. Alright, I'm going to shut up before I go on another massive rant about this. Once I'd done that, I made my way up to the mob farm, and it was a bad idea, but the goal was to get a zombie villager and cure it, because I'd ran into an igloo before, and I lit the place up, and then this is where it all went wrong. I peeped over, but I didn't realise the trapdoors you can't crouch on properly, and I fell to my death. I knew it was too late as soon as I fell. But anyways, thank you for watching this very simple 3-episode hardcore world, and we will start a new survival kit series soon. Thank you for watching. Fruitcake out, and oh no.